Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt with our Flex Friday workout. Let's begin with 2 minutes of your choice, warm-up pace cardio, and then get 2 rounds through the following sequence. Start with some big arm circles, get dynamic with this, stretch them both out. If you want to do both at the same time, that's fine too. 3 reps of a burpee, so that is body all the way to the ground, and then up, jump and clap at the top, all right? Next is some forward somersaults. So forward somersaults in sets of 3 can get you really, really dizzy. So I say, like, don't go to where you're going to fall down. If you can do 3 and then stand up and kind of shake it out, that's great. If you can do 2 and then you know 3 is going to be bad, just don't do number 3. And then log rolls or some other type of getting upside down is also acceptable. We definitely like tumbling because of the vestibular stimulation, the balance, and there are brain benefits to getting yourself upside down and then getting back to a standard horizon. But if all you do is just a single somersault and then stand back up, that's fantastic. Use the red mats if you are needing a little extra cushion there. Last one is warm-up push press. So push press is our mid-level of the shoulder pressing or pressing overhead variants, right? So that is my shoulder width grip on the bar. The bar is sitting on a shelf created by my shoulders. My feet are underneath my hips. And I'm going to dip, drive, press. So I'm creating momentum upward to jump that bar off my shoulders, right? And then I'm finishing the lockout with my hands. That is our warm-up exercise. That is one of the foundational movements that we're going to do today, the primary movement that we're doing today. All right, so when we finish with the warm-up, I want you to load up into the 60-65% of your 1 rep max push press range, which should be challenging as we go to the shoulder press. So a lot of this may be determined by how much you can shoulder press. If it's extremely different, like the amount that you can shoulder press versus push press, then we'll go a little bit lighter to make sure that you can get all the reps. But this is 9 reps in a row. The first 3 reps are strict, and the last 6 reps are the push press, okay? So the way this will work is I stand the bar up out of the rack, brace myself, get everything nice and tight, and then I'm gonna do 3 strict presses, 1, 2, 3, and then 6 dip drive presses, right? 6 push presses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I get a total of 9 reps, and then put the bar back in the rack. And that is my the core exercise that we're doing, or the foundational exercise that we're doing. Then everything else is our accessory lifts. So it's like a giant set that I want you to go through. So do 1 set of the push presses, push press, shoulder press combo, and then go all the way through the list. By the time you get back to the beginning, your arms and your shoulders should be very, very tired. So just keep that in mind that you may need to switch weights on the second set because of the volume of additional work that you're doing in between the shoulder press, push press combo, okay? So going down that list, then and when we do these, the Flex Friday style workouts are definitely, they are for quality, and they are for the feeling of muscle failure that you get when you do a moderate load for a high number of reps. Your heart rate will get up, your breathing rate will get up, but this is not specifically cardio, right? This is muscle endurance and hypertrophy work is what we're working on here. So this is all of the definition that you want to see in your shoulders, right? And all of the strength work, this is the way to get that, all right? So it's those moderate load, not tiny light weights, but moderate load that are actually challenging to lift, and we're doing multiple sets to failure when we do those exercises. So the first one is a 3-position dumbbell shoulder circuit. So what I'd like to see is 1 weight that you do, and we're doing all 3 exercises without setting the dumbbells down. So 30 total without setting them down. So that may mean that will influence the weight that you use, but we're gonna go forward, delt raises first, so 10 reps forward, and then still standing up to the side, lateral delt raises, 10 reps of that. And then we're gonna go to the bent over position, so the dumbbells are just off the ground and pulling straight apart, right? Rear delt raises for 10. So 10, 10, and 10, and then you can set your dumbbells down. The next one we're gonna do is a ring row, and these are gonna be, we call them 2 up, 1 down ring rows, right? So what that means is when I'm pulling up, I'm using 2 arms. When I'm going down, I only use 1 arm, right? So I'm gonna go from the bottom. I pull up, punch 1 arm out straight, and then lower down with the opposite one. Pull up, punch the other arm out straight, and lower down with the other one. Make sure your feet don't slip. Pull up, lower down. Pull up, lower down, right? So it's 2 up, 1 down ring rows, total of 10. I want you to alternate right hand, left hand. There is a little bit of coordination involved on that, so make sure that you're pay attention to how to do it first, and then add resistance by walking your feet underneath the bar a little bit more, all right? Overhead tricep extension is the next one. So I've got a dumbbell, and you can do these seated or standing, it doesn't matter which, but try to keep your elbows pointed forward when you do this. So I touch the dumbbell to the back of my head and then extend my arms straight up over the top of my head. Overhead dumbbell tricep extension. Shoot for 2 drop sets when you do this, okay? So that means I'll start with a 35, and then I go until I can't go anymore, set it down, pick up a 25, go until I can't go anymore, set it down, pick up a 15, and go till I hit 30 reps, right? Next one is wall walk-ups, right? So for the wall walk-ups, we'll start with the bottom of the push-up position, feet touching the wall. I'm gonna push up, reach my leg up the wall, and just walk myself back as far as I'm comfortable walking. If you can get all the way back until your nose touches the wall, that's great. If you get to like 2 feet away from the wall, that's fine, but try to come back down under control, right? All the way back down to that push-up position when you get down to the bottom. And then 30 reps of a bent over dumbbell or kettlebell row. So this one I have a weight in each hand, and I'm just rowing from arms straight until the dumbbells touch my rib cage. And again, start with a 35, then move over, grab the 25s. When I hit failure there, move over, grab the 15s until I get to 30. So each of those, shoot for 2 drops and get close to failure on each one. All right, and then we're repeating that whole sequence for 3 or 4 rounds, depending on how much time you have and how much of the extra credit you want to get. So the extra credit is all arms stuff, right? So we're going to do, it is your choice of bicep curl if you want to do a pronated curl, or if you want to do a hammer curl, easy bar curl, straight bar curl, any of those, but pick a steady weight, right? And go for 80 reps. So what I would do is I would pick a weight that I could probably do close to 20 in a row without stopping. But let's say it's hammer curls, right? So I'm doing hammer curls and I get to 19, 20, all right? And to do 21, I feel like I'm gonna have to swing them up there. So that's about my failure point. So I set it down. Every time I set the weights down, I'm gonna do 5 burpees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then band delt raise, right? So, and 5 burpees and 10 reps of a band delt raise. So I'm standing on top of the band, I'm pushing my arms out at 45 degrees to the side. So this is kind of hybrid. So in the strength section, we did forward and we did lateral. This one is 45 degrees or halfway between those two, okay? So slightly different than both of those other ones. When you finish your 80 reps of the curls, then we're gonna move to 80 reps of a tricep extension. So I got a band over the rig, just a different version than what we did in the workout, so more triceps. So again, these are a little bit easier than the overhead version. So get as many reps as you can, and then every time you finish a set, again, 5 burpees, and this time we're doing 10 band pull aparts, right? So pulling apart from the middle with the elbows straight, right? So get as many reps of the triceps as you can. When you fail at that, burpees, band pull aparts, and you just repeat that until you get to 80 reps, okay? And that is our extra credit for today. Arms and shoulders should be smoked after all this, but that's fine because it's the weekend, all right? Have a great one. See you guys on Saturday.